Stay tuned to find out what changes would be made concerning self-checkout. Medications coming in at even with tomatoes. This is not usual. I mean, I know we be low over here in my parts of New Jersey, but I've been seeing a lot of different things pop up on my feed about stores changing their rules or the way they operate self-checkout. So here's one thing that a lot of stores are going to start doing when it comes down to self-checkout. Stay tuned to find out what changes would be made concerning self-checkout. So many retailers want to slow down that theft rate because people be stealing, we know. So one of the strategies that they're trying to implement is when it comes down to self-checkout, if you're going, a lot of people are not going to be able to go with them 40 items in their cart. They're now limiting how much you can take to self-checkout. So you know how when you go into like regular supermarkets, here we have ShopRite. I know a lot of you have like Publix and Kroger. So when you go in those grocery stores, it'd be like Express Lane, 10 items or less. Express Lane, 25 items or less. So when it comes down to self-checkout, some retailers are making it a limit of 10 items or less to use self-checkout. So starting with a grocery store called Snooks. It's known to be in the Midwest. So this grocery store is starting to implement, I think today, which is Thursday, they're going to go ahead and implement 10 items or less at self-checkout to reduce theft. If you guys shop at Snooks, let me know how that store is, because I've never heard of it. I've never been in one, of course, because I'm from New Jersey. They're hoping that there will be some benefits of stopping theft with making this change. And I know some people, they love going to self-checkout. I mean, they don't want to stand in lines and wait for someone to check them out. Some people really do just prefer to check themselves out, even if they are bagging their own bags, whatever the case may be. Most states then switched to bring your own bag, and they did the plastic bag ban in a lot of states already. So a lot of people are already used to it. So now what's happening is when you go in and self-checkout, you're already doing the items. You're lining the line with your groceries, and then you're taking them down, you're bagging them, whatever the case may be. But people already became accustomed to that, right? But now, to me, it's going to revert to people going back to real people, of course, which to me is a good thing. Hopefully that'll bring back some jobs. Hopefully, right? Go back to the real people, stand on that line, and you have to get checked out. 10 items. Some people used to let 12 items slide. It didn't matter. But now, in order to stop that theft, the cap is 10 items. So anything over 10 items, you got to go to a line. So they do operate 115 stores across Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. They're saying that this past year, they relied way too much on self-checkout. And guess what? Ever since they've been relying on self-checkout, they saw an increase in theft. So a lot of retailers across the U.S. would be making this change. All right, family. So I know some of you are a lot of you are totally against self-checkout, but some of you, like a handful of you, definitely still use self-checkout to check out everything. So how do you guys feel about this? Definitely let us know in the comments down below. I'm going to leave this right here where it's at. Hopefully you all have an amazing day and enjoy the rest of the week. This is Shauna, and I'm officially checking out from Moments with Us. Make sure that you all stay prepped, stay blessed, and stay safe. Most of all, remain beautiful queens and kings. So hopefully you found the summary informative, but as far as the article go, here's what it states. A grocery store chain is limiting how many items you can buy at its self-checkouts as concerns over theft mount. So Schnucks customers soon won't be able to buy more than 10 items at its self-checkout in hopes that it will stop theft. So many major retail chains are rethinking their self-checkout strategies. So Midwest grocery store chain Schnucks is putting a cap on how many items customers can buy at the self-checkout. From Thursday, self-checkout lanes in all Schnucks stores will be limited to customers buying 10 items or fewer So the retailer actually confirmed to Business Insider. So customers with more than 10 items will be redirected to its staff checkout lanes. While the primary intention is to improve customer service and checkout efficiency, we do expect there to be some benefits to stopping theft. So they go on and say, because self-checkouts are most susceptible to theft, this item limit will help us maintain our costs while keeping the prices lower for our customers. So, Schnucks, they do operate, as we discussed, 115 stores in Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. So, it told the Business Insider that all of its stores had self-checkouts with between 4 and 8 on average at each location. When self-checkouts were first introduced, they were intended for smaller orders. They go on and say, over time, larger orders began moving through self-checkouts, and we are hoping to address that concern. So retailers across the U.S. are rethinking their self-checkout strategies as companies fear that they're facilitating theft. In some cases, the shrink, as it's known in the industry, is international. So customers deliberately don't scan some items or put them through as lower cost products, while sometimes it happens by accident. So Walmart is trying to combat theft at self-checkouts by using technology that alerts staffs if it detects a problem, such as an unscanned item. But current and former workers told BI that this led to uncomfortable confrontations when they had to approach customers. Because if you go in and you scanning the item, or if a customer forget to scan the item or didn't scan correctly, and then an employee have to approach that customer, and if you know the customer know for a fact, if they know that I'm not stealing, they automatically is gonna feel threatened, and feel like, well, are you accusing me of stealing? So I get it from both ends. And Costco is also cracking down on membership card sharing at self-checkouts by getting staff to check people's cards. So research also shows that some customers find self-checkouts alienating too. Dollar General said it's beefing up staffing in its checkout areas to provide more customer service. That would be great. So they go ahead and say we started to rely too much this year on self-checkout. So CEO Todd said in December, nothing that it should only be used as a secondary checkout vehicle. So it shouldn't be something that's used, mainly for checking out. It should not be used for that. It should be used as a backup. So yeah, that's what's happening. There's the full article there.